Okay, it's recording. It's all you.
Okay. I don't really have much to say. Obviously my timing didn't work out so well, so I'm gonna give it all to Josh. I introduced you a little bit in my team page, so everyone sort of
Okay.
knows who you are, how amazing you are. I already talked you all up, so you better have some good tips for us. um, and he's going to chat about motivation tonight because I know I reached out to you guys, and that was the biggest thing that we were all struggling with was losing our motivation and lacking motivation. So I'm going to give it all to you. I don't have much else to say.
Okay,
Thank you for
cool.
being on, though.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thanks for allowing me to take over your team call tonight, Chelsea.
Anytime.
So let me pin myself real quick. Let me go, boom, pin my video. Beautiful, which I hate doing because now I can see less of you. So here's the deal. What I need from you guys is I'm a very moving around schizophrenic kind of ADD person. So I need face energy from you. I hate the fact that I have to mute everybody. It literally breaks my heart to have to mute people because nothing is more fun to me than interaction. Okay. So I always tell people on Zoom, since I have to mute you so there's not a bunch of background noise, give me face energy. Can you give me face energy tonight? Lots and lots and lots of face energy, especially if my sound cuts out, because that was really weird. We started the call and Chelsea all talked me up, and then for some reason something was up with my computer. You couldn't even hear me. So that was nice, right? So anyways, thank you guys all for taking time to hang out with me tonight, to allow me to speak into your lives tonight. I want to speak something that I believe is going to help you to continue in your business. It's great to start a business, but it's more valuable to continue because the longer you go, the more results you're going to see. How many of you have read The Compound Effect? Anybody read The Compound Effect? Raise your hand if you've read The Compound Effect. If you haven't read The Compound Effect, the main gist of it is this: small things done over time equal great results. We don't work out 4 hours a day, right? Most of us work out about 30 minutes a day. And I get really, really, really disappointed when I go to work out with Sagi and it's one of those days that's 40 minutes instead of 30. I get really, really frustrated. I'm like, not 40 minutes. What are you thinking? Give me 30 minutes and let me get out of here, right? So hopefully you understand that the name of the game is not today's results. It's consistency over time. And so one of the things that I want to help you do is understand how I always tell people everything you need to know about business you learned on your health journey. Too many people have failed to take the same principles they used on their health journey and then convert them over to their business journey, when really, I swear to you, it's the same exact thing. Now, are there different things you have to do? Obviously, there are different activities, but based on the same principles, okay? So tonight I want to talk to you about motivation because I believe that there is a magic formula to motivation. In fact, I believe that all of the top coaches in this business, I work with 5 different former or current top 10 coaches. And I work with some people that recruit incredible numbers and hit incredible numbers. And I promise you there's something they know that you don't. Haven't you guys always thought that? Like, there's just something that these top coaches know that I don't. And if I could figure out what it is they know, maybe I'd stand a chance, right? So tonight I want to give you something that all top coaches know. And it's not like they're intentionally keeping it a secret, because that's not necessarily the case. But here's the beauty that I have being an outsider. I get to watch from the outside and I get to observe people. And I get to sit and watch what separates these people from these people. Why are these people having so much success and these people not? And I have the privilege of working with some of those people and to see firsthand some of the things that they do. And then I get to have great conversations, sometimes with people that are being coached by them that aren't in that high level. And I get to hear what's going on in their business and what their daily activities look like. And I get to sit and figure out, okay, what is it you do that you don't do? And I'm constantly thinking and I'm constantly learning and I'm constantly asking questions. Why Why? In fact, I have a sticky note on the right side of my computer. This is something we decided to do in the mastermind group that I'm in. And it just says, here, see if I can get, sorry, my ring light. There we go. There it is. It just says why. That's it. Why? 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 Because it constantly reminds me to ask people why. Because that's the only way we learn, is by asking questions. And so by asking that question over and over and over and over and over, I've been able to discover what the difference is and why the top coaches in the business and why some of the most successful people in Beachbody are able to stay motivated the way they do. Have you guys ever wondered, like, how do some of these people do it? Like, how do they stay so motivated? It's like every time I see them, they're like flying all over the place, doing all these amazing things, doing all these incredible things. And I can barely find the motivation to just start one new conversation today. Anybody ever felt like that? And you're like, what the heck is in their Energize that's not in my Energize? They got some special formula for like top coaches that they like mix in their Energize that gives them this like fearless tenacity that helps them to just go crazy and work their business 40 hours a day. Somehow they found like an extra 16 hours in the day. They got 40 and I got 20. There's something they have that I don't. So tonight I want to share with you what that thing is, because I believe it will be a game changer for your business. And I believe that if you knew the secret to motivation, that you would work harder than you've ever worked before. You'd work longer than you've ever worked before. But more importantly, you would enjoy it more. How many of you say, Josh, if you could give me a way to work harder, longer, more productive, and enjoy it more, I'd be all about that. Raise your hand. Come on, raise your hand if you would love to enjoy work and get more done, be more satisfied, be more fulfilled. Are you ready for it? I'm going to give you the secret formula to staying motivated on a daily basis. You guys ready? You promise you're ready? This better be good, right? I really talked this up. This better be incredible. The secret formula to motivation is simply this: understanding that there's no such thing as motivation. Crap, I tricked you, didn't I? You thought I had something special and something secret. Gosh dang it, Josh, you suck. There is no such thing as motivation. We all have this idea, just like I literally played off the thoughts that I know you're having in your mind. I tell you, I listen to a lot of people, guys. And I know that coaches who aren't successful yet, which, by the way, successful has many different meanings, okay? Making a lot of money does not necessarily mean successful, okay? But you see these top successful coaches and you think they have something you don't. Because when they take selfies, man, their eyes are lit up and they're having a blast and they're drinking their Shaco and they don't care what anybody thinks and they are so fearless and it's like they roll out of bed. Some of these people roll out of bed with like their makeup already done and their hair already perfect and everything, there's no messes in their house at all. Everything looks amazing. And it's like they have some type of like caffeine IV. They got like espresso just flowing through their blood all the time. And they're always on a high. And they're always happy. And they always enjoy life. And you're wondering, what the heck is wrong with me? And I'll tell you what's wrong with you. What's wrong with you is that you have been deceived. You have been deceived into thinking that there's some outside thing that has given them some extra special mojo, and they roll out of bed with a big fat smile on their face, and they are so freaking excited to reach out to new people and to post 100 times and to help people and to inspire people, and it's just like they are not even human. And you feel like there's got to be something wrong with you or there's got to be something really extra special about them. When the truth is, society has tried to trick us into thinking that if we could drink enough caffeine, if we could find the right secret formula, if we could have enough success or outward things, that somehow, some way, we would get this feeling that we call motivation. And if we could have this feeling, oh, I could just post on Instagram and use my 30 hashtags every time, and I could add 20 people to my network every day, and I could start new convos and be fearless, and I could be so successful if I could just get this feeling. And so when we don't have this feeling, we say things like this: I'm just not motivated. Maybe I just lost my passion. I'm just not as excited as I used to be. I'm just not. Why? Because we've been tricked. Anybody on this call married? Raise your hand if you're married. Okay. Anybody else on this call, notice that when you were dating, you were the most motivated person on the planet. You would stay up till 3 o'clock in the morning with your significant other if you could. And you would go on 2 hours of sleep. You didn't care. You'd stay up all night talking, playing, maybe some other things. But all night you would just hang out and just, you were so in love and everything was so perfect and everything was so amazing. And then all of a sudden you get married. And that honeymoon's real fun and special because usually you go to some exotic place or some cool place. Or if you're me and my wife and you were poor, you go to Tulsa, Oklahoma for your honeymoon and stay in a hotel for 3 nights. We were really poor. Anyways, what happens, most of you know, unless you're like way better at marriage than me, after year 1, are you still treating your spouse the way you treated them when you were dating? I would say most of us, if we're honest, say no. Now, should we be? Yes. Are we? No. I do not open the door for my wife everywhere we go. Now, do I still try to remember to? Yes, especially if we're like out on a specific date, I try to go and open the door for her. But sometimes I just don't think about it. I just forget completely. And I'm getting kids out of the car and grabbing their backpacks and grabbing 20 bags of groceries because we got 3 boys who eat 20 pizzas a day. And I just got so many other things in my mind. Sometimes I forget. Right? Now, let me ask you this. Do I still love my wife? Absolutely. But does it feel now like it did when we were dating? No way. But does that mean I'm less motivated? Or does that mean with time things just don't feel as good? You see, how many of you, raise your hand, if every single day you roll out of bed and you have the biggest smile on your face because you can't wait to push play and work out? Raise your hand if that's you. Is that anybody? I mean, I think I've ran into a few people like that, like a few, that like literally they just like working out is like their drug. Brittany Powers, working out is like her drug. Like if she has to fly out of LA at 6 o'clock in the morning, she will get up at 2 o'clock in the morning to work out. It's like her drug. Me? No, no, thank you. Now I love what working out does for me, but I don't wake up and roll out of bed with a huge smile on my face, ready to work out, right? Why do I work out? Why do I put myself through 30 minutes of torture? Because I know the end result, right? Now, how many of you understand that you don't have to be an extremely extroverted, charismatic, motivated person to work out every day? You don't, do you? No. What you do have to do is have a strong connection to your why. You got to know what your goals are. And you have to make a decision that you're going to wake up every day and make it and make it happen. Right? Not find out if you feel like it. If we went based on feelings, guys, all of us would be like 900 pounds overweight, because I feel like eating like an entire pizza and Ben and Jerry's like every single day, probably like for lunch, dinner, what Taco Bell calls like our second dinner or fourth meal, whatever it is they call it. I mean, I could eat pizza and Ben and Jerry's all day and night. If I just went based on feelings, how many of you know dishes would never get done? Bills would never get paid. Nothing, like literally nothing responsible would ever happen in my life, because I hate responsibility. I'm not a responsible, naturally person. If we went based on feelings, this world would be a crazy place. And to be honest, most of the world's problems are because we do things based on feelings. But we know and we understand from our health journey that it's not about feelings. It's about pushing. It's about pressing play no matter what. That's why we have this drink called Energize. Just like grab your Energize, put it in water, drink it, and hit play before you have time to think, right? Like don't even think about it. Just take that thing like a shot and then just hit play and just go for it, right? So here's the thing that I believe. See, I believe that we're all looking for motivation, which is something that's on the outside, okay? Some type of feeling, some type of this, some type of that, blah, blah, blah. But what we really need is what I would call inspiration. And inspiration only comes from the inside. That's why it's called inspiration. It comes from the inside. And I believe that true inspiration does not come from anything on the outside. It comes from two things that I believe pretty much every successful coach understands. Number one, it comes from an emotional connection to your why. Now, most of us know that about the health journey, but we forgot to apply the same principle to our business journey. You've got to have a strong emotional connection to your why. Why do you have a business? Why do you do this? Do you have a job that you want to quit? Do you have a vacation you want to go on? Why? Why are you doing this? I know you're not doing it for fun. It's not fun. 3 vital behaviors are not fun, right? Raise your hand if you think all 3 vital behaviors are fun. Anybody? And sorry, there's 4 now. I keep forgetting there's 4 now. But they're not fun. They're work. That's why we call it work. That's why we call it business. It's work, right? They're not fun. But hopefully you understand that there's something you want in your future, and it's worth doing a few things every single day if they're going to give you the thing that you want in your future based on your why. But here's the other thing. Here's the other thing that I believe successful coaches have. Strong emotional connection to their why, but they also have a very strong and defined mission. They have a strong and defined mission. What is a mission? A mission, sorry, someone's trying to call me through my laptop. Go away, notification. Get off here. A mission is the difference you want to make in the world. How many people, when you sign up to be a Beachbody coach, said, if I could just help one person? Anybody ever say that? So many people wanted to help someone. And somewhere along the way, we got so caught up in Success Club, rank advancing, volume, the leadership ladder, all these different things that we forgot about the fact that we wanted to help someone. Now, am I against Success Club, volume, leadership ladder? No. Because those are all the different ways we measure whether or not you're actually living out your mission. Because if you really, really, really wanted to help that one person, why would you not also help 2 people? Why would you not also help 3 people, 4 people, 5 people, 10 people, 100 people, 1,000 people? Why would you ever stop it? If you really cared about people, why would you stop at 1? I mean, that just seems really selfish to me. Now, what you really meant was, even if everyone else on the planet ignores me and never likes a single post and never comments on a single post, if just one person's life is changed by it, all the hard work and all of the effort of facing my fears would be worth it, right? But somewhere along the line, we lost that purpose. And that is why people struggle with motivation. Not because they don't have some natural mojo. Nobody has a freaking natural mojo, okay? Top 10 coaches wake up tired every single day like you do. In fact, you think you're tired? And I'm just going to tell you right now, top 10 coaches, they deal with 1,000 people a day. And I know that sounds great. Well, I wish I had 200 emails showing up every day. I mean, it sounds great. But if you actually had to deal with some of the people that they have to deal with and answer some of the questions they have to answer, guys, there's a lot of stupid people out there, and they have to talk to a lot of those stupid people every single day. And sometimes a lot of those stupid people are on their team, and that's really difficult because you can't avoid those people. You have to help them, okay? Now, there's also a lot of really good people too, okay? Don't get me wrong. But I'm just saying, sometimes we think successful people have it so easy because they just hit such huge numbers. It's got to be fun for them. Well, it's not always fun to have 1,000 people that want you and need you and ask you questions all day and night. And you have to literally turn your phone off sometimes just to spend some time with your family. Don't ever think that successful people have it easy. That's not the case. Now, do they have some more benefits and rewards for what they do? Yes, of course. But that doesn't make it easy. It's challenging. Every new level you go to, there's new challenges. They don't just like sit around in a mansion and have 100 SC points served to them on a silver platter. That's not how it works. They have to wake up tired every day like you and make a decision to help people and make a decision to face their fears. Yes, they do have fears. Trust me. They pay me very good money to help them walk through their fears. You never stop having fears. You never stop struggling. But that's the beauty of growth. The beauty of growth is that you're always finding a new thing to struggle with. And you say, that doesn't sound very fun. But it is. It is fun. Because if you don't have a struggle, you're not growing. And if you're not growing, you're not helping anybody. You're not creating a better life for your family. You're not creating a better life for your kids. Do we have any parents on the call tonight? I love my kids more than anything in the world, and I would do anything in the world for them. Anything. I mean, I would fight a lion for my kids, and I would find a way to win. I don't care if I do only weigh 170 pounds. I would find a way to beat that lion for my kids. And I know that if you're a parent, you feel the same way. And yet, we can't find the motivation to do our 3 vital behaviors and build the life for our kids that they really deserve. Did you hear what I just said? We would fight a lion to the death for our kids, but we won't start 2 or 3 conversations on Facebook. Just let that sink in for a second, guys, because I'm telling you, this is real motivation, or as I like to call it, inspiration. When you understand what it really, really is. See, what you've done if you've lacked motivation is you have only thought about yourself. Most of our problems in business are stemmed from selfishness. If you're walking in fear, guess what? It's because you're being selfish. And please, I'm a nice guy, I promise. Don't hate me, okay? But if you're afraid to reach out to someone, it's because you're only thinking about the negative effect it will have on you if they say no, or if they are mean and rude. You're not thinking about what it could do for them if that's the very thing they needed for their life. If you're not motivated, it's because you're thinking about what you have to give up, right? You're thinking, well, an hour working my business means 1 less hour on Netflix. I said it. I said it. It means one less hour of scrolling my news feed on Facebook. Now, here's what we do is we say things like this. Well, I just don't have time for my business because my family, it's time away from my family. And I don't want to be a bad mom or a bad dad. I don't want to spend time away from my family. Meanwhile, can I show you guys something really cool? Meanwhile, see if I can get the right lighting here. We have a smartphone. If you're really smart, you have an iPhone. I'm just kidding. That looks like this. I've got Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, Periscope. Got my Bible on there. I've got iTunes Music. I've got photos, maps. The only productive thing on the home screen of my phone is probably my emails, which you can tell I'd never, ever, ever delete. There's 4,000. I promise I actually check my emails. I just hate deleting them. I'm weird like that. And my Bible. That's about it. Everything else on here is social. In other words, it's something I could live with or live without. I don't need it. It's not necessarily making my life any better. Now, I like to think that I spend most of my time on Facebook being productive and building relationships, but let's all be honest, guys. We all waste time every single day on things that don't do anything for us or our family. And then when it comes time to work our business, we say, I'm just not motivated, or I just don't have time, or I just don't have the energy. When, let's face it, we all wasted at least 2 or 3 hours today that did absolutely nothing for our family. Am I right? Can you still love me? Promise? So my point is this, is that we have got to be so emotionally connected to our why that we're willing to do the things that don't feel good in order to create the life that our family deserves. So I want to share with you a little bit of my why, okay? And then we're going to talk a little bit about mission, because mission is something that's very, 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 very important to me. But I want to share with you my why. I want you to hear my story, not so that you can feel bad for me, okay? Not so that we can all cry together, although that may happen. It does happen sometimes. But just because I want you to hear how emotionally connected I am to this, okay? So for 9.5 years, I detailed cars. And detailing cars, whatever, it's not like necessarily that bad, except for the fact that I did it on commission, which means that the only way I got paid decent money, and I did get paid decent money, but the only way I got paid that kind of money is if I worked my butt off every single day. If I didn't detail a certain amount of cars every single day, our bills wouldn't get paid. Now, here's the thing. I had no paid time off whatsoever. I had no paid sick time. I had no paid vacation time, nothing. So I had to show up every single day at 7 a.m. For the first 2 years, it was at 6 a.m. My gosh, that's ungodly. That's just not, God's plan was never for us to be up at 6 o'clock in the morning. But anyways, and I'd have to show up. My first several years there, before me and my wife started getting a little bit more involved and having a healthy lifestyle, I kid you not, in between every single car, I would drink either a cup of coffee or a cup of Mountain Dew. And me and a buddy would team up to detail 8 cars a day. 8 cars, we would do full details on 8 cars 5 days a week. And in between every single car, I would sprint into the main lobby. And we had like these, like the little coffee cups that you get usually, that like the free coffee comes in. And I would do one of two things. I would fill it with Mountain Dew and I would take it like a shot, or I would fill it with coffee, top it off with a little bit of, we had like this cheap espresso machine. It tasted so bad. Top it off with some espresso. And then I would pour out some ice, like a handful of ice. and I would throw it in the cup and I would just shake it real quick just to cool it off enough that I could take it like a shot. And in between every single car all day, I either took a coffee cup sized shot of Mountain Dew or a coffee cup sized shot of coffee all day long. And I would wear headphones. As you can tell, I'm kind of addicted to headphones. And I would crank the loudest, hardest, fastest music I could get my hands on just to like keep that rush going and keep that caffeine going all day long. I would go home, I would be tired, I would be exhausted, sometimes yell at my kids because I was just so worn out I couldn't take anything. Every single Friday morning, I would wake up literally feeling sick. And I'm not talking about like when you just wake up early to like fly somewhere and you kind of just like feel sick because you don't like, I'm talking like on Friday, I would literally feel sick and I would still have to go work. On top of that, my youngest son, Paxton, who actually just turned 5 in December, which is really, really crazy, was born with a heart defect. So he had 3 open heart surgeries by the age of 3. Now, fortunately, we were poor enough that the government paid for all the operations and all the doctor bills and all that crap. But I had no paid time off, which means while my kid was having surgery, and I should have just been there loving him and supporting him and praying for him and kissing him, I was doing all of those things while thinking in the back of my brain about money. Because every time he had an open heart surgery, of course, as a dad, I was going to be there for him, but I had no income coming in. None. And so I had to think in the back of my head, how are we going to even like survive? Like, how are we going to pay our rent? How are we going to like pay for our car? Like, are we going to come home from the hospital and like we're kicked out of our apartment and everything's shut off? Like, I don't know. And so here's the thing. After about 8 years of this, I finally came to my senses and said, Josh, you have got to build a lifestyle that will provide for your family. We would literally skip birthday parties that my kids would get invited to because we didn't have the money to buy them presents. Kids have never been on a vacation in their life. We're planning one for them for this summer. It will legit be my kid's first vacation ever. My oldest kid is 10. Sorry, just turned 11. He just turned 11 like a week ago. Okay, I'm not that bad of a dad. Never been on a vacation. So I said, Josh, you're going to build a better life for your family, and you're going to do whatever the heck it takes. And I don't care if you have to wake up early. I don't care if you have to stay up late. I don't care how bad it sucks. You are going to go for it. You are going to grind. You're going to go all in. Whatever you have to do, you are going to make this happen. Now, thankfully, I signed up for the John Maxwell team. If you haven't heard of John Maxwell, he's the #1 leadership trainer in the world. I signed up for his certification program, realizing that it would help give me a head start, just like many of you, Beachbody has given you a head start. I had great training, but my first year sucked. It was horrible. My first year starting my business, I signed a total of 2 clients my first 12 months, and I grossed about $500. Made $500 my entire first year of business. Now, you want to talk about someone who doesn't feel motivated? Here I am detailing cars all day, sweating my butt off, working sick sometimes, and come home to work 2 or 3 hours on a business that was losing money. I mean, I grossed $500, but who knows how much money I spent taking people out for coffee, buying them dinner, trying to make connections with people, trying to get people to sign as clients, and it just was not working. But here's what I said, guys. I said, even if it takes 5 years to make this happen, for some reason, I just had this crazy idea that even if I sucked, if I just spent 5 years doing it, it would pay off. I could at least replace my income, right? I said, even if it takes 5 years of grinding it out like this, I can live the rest of my life however I want. I can live the rest of my life taking my kids to school if I want, which I do now, by the way. Picking my kids up from school, which I do, by the way. Taking my kids to birthday parties. actually giving my kids birthday parties, and just instead of just saying, okay, family, come over to our house. Now we actually have fun birthday parties. Taking my kids on vacations. We're going to take them to Florida sometime this summer. Even if it takes 5 years, Josh, just go for it. Make it happen so that you can live the rest of your life giving your family the life that they deserve. So even after an entire year of sucking, and I love to tell this part of my story because I know there's so many Beachbody coaches out there that are like, Josh, I'm not getting results. I'm doing everything they say. Can I even do this? Like, am I actually capable? Maybe there's just some people that it only works for, other people. My first year, guys, I signed 2 clients. And now I work with 4 former or current top 10 coaches in the company. And now I literally sit here in my office and talk to awesome people and make really good money for it. Because my second year, digging in and just going for it and saying, I don't care. I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to keep talking to people. I'm going to keep adding value to people. I'm going to keep helping people. My second year, my business just exploded. And 9 months into my second year, I was able to quit my full-time job and triple my income. Just out of nowhere. I made a few incredible contacts. First one was Brittany Powers, who hit top 10 this last year. She was my very first Beachbody client. She's actually the person that my wife signed up under when she joined Beachbody. And when I met Brittany, my world changed forever. Because Brittany introduced me to her team, introduced me to her mentors. She messages me on a regular basis. Hey, Josh, I just told this person, drop their name. You might want to message them. She's been the biggest blessing in the world to me. And I truly believe if you will find it in you to do what you need to do to give your family the life that they deserve, to give you the life that you deserve. I believe everyone has a Brittany. I believe everyone has one person, and there's many more that come along after that, but one person that can change your world forever. And you never know when that one person is going to come into your life. When I talked to Brittany, I had 5 clients. 5, which is still just like nothing, right? I was still working a full-time job. I was basically begging people to talk to me, giving away free calls, giving away free groups, giving away free training. I had 5 people. And my life took off from there. So my point is this. I decided that I was going to do whatever it took to give my family what they deserve. And when people tell me they're not motivated, and please don't take this personally, guys. I'm not trying to be a meanie here, okay? I'm just trying to give you some real talk because I know what you're going through. I know what it feels like to be an entrepreneur trying to build your business, and it's hard and it's tough and life is busy and you've got a family, and sometimes you feel like the crappiest parent in the world for working your business instead of spending time with them. Anybody ever been there before? But you have to realize that your family deserves more. You deserve more. And you have to be an adult about the situation and say, do my kids really need me 6 hours out of the day? Or could they be okay with having me for 4 hours while I work my business for 2 hours so that 10 years from now they can go to college and not have $200,000 worth of debt? Or so that I can take my family on a vacation this summer that they really deserve. Or so that I can retire my spouse who has a day job that they absolutely hate. Or for some of us like me, so we can pay a freaking bill every once in a while and not have so much stress on our plate. When people say they're not motivated, what they're really saying is they forgot how much they care about the people they love. Now, I'm not saying you don't care about them. I'm not saying you don't love them. What I'm saying is you forgot. It's not at the front of your brain, because if it was at the front of your brain, you would do anything and everything it took to give them what they deserve. You say, yeah, Josh, but like, I just want to be a good parent. I just want to be a good spouse. I just want to give my kids, I just want to love them and give them this. And I always ask people this: what do you want your kids to grow up to be? I bet every single one of you that have kids, and I apologize if there's people on here that don't have kids, but surely you can still understand where I'm coming from if you have any plans of kids in the future. What would you say to your kids? You would say, I want you to grow up to be your absolute best. I want you to have everything. I want you to be the best in the world. I want you to go be a professional athlete if you want to. I want you to be a rocket scientist if you want to be. I want you to be anything you want. You can do it. Do we not tell our kids that? You can be anything you want. Meanwhile, we live mediocre lives and don't chase our passions and don't chase our dreams and think that somehow our kids will believe that they can chase their dreams even though we never chased ours. John Maxwell says that we attract who we are, not what we want. And people do what they see us do, not what they hear us say. How many of you have ever said that to your kids? Do what I say, not what I do. Right? Which is kind of funny, but it's impossible. People will never do what you say. They will do what you do. Especially kids. Kids are very good at copying people, right? You want your kids to grow up and chase their dreams and live out their passion? That's what you have to do. You have to show them what it looks like. So the first thing is you have to have a strong connection to your why. If you don't have kids, what do you want your future to look like? What do you want to have? What do you want your future to have? You are going to have to fight to create that. Or you can relax and live like the rest of America and never have the things you really want. And you may have a good life and you may have a comfortable life. But I don't want a good, comfortable life. I want my best life because I want to give my kids their best life. And I want to give my wife her best life. And the second thing that keeps me driven every single day is my mission. And that is, so my why is what I want to do for me and my family. It is a very selfish thing, okay? It is. I mean, on one hand, it's unselfish because it's my wife and my kids, but on the other hand, it's kind of selfish because it's just us. Obviously I want life to be better for my kids. They're my kids, right? But my mission is what I want to do for the world. In other words, my mission is what I want to do beyond the four walls that I live in. And for me personally, I want to equip and empower people to live out their legacy. In other words, I want to help people live the life that stands for the thing that they wanted it to stand for. I want to help people to live a life of significance so that when they go to bed at night, they go to bed with a smile on their face knowing they made a difference in the world. So my biggest goal in life is to help other people make a difference. And that's why I'm speaking to you guys tonight, because I want to help you make a difference. And if I didn't feel like you were trying to make a difference, I wouldn't be talking to you tonight. But the thing is that I love about Beachbody, and the reason I work with so many Beachbody coaches is because I know you signed up for this company because you wanted to make a difference. Am I right? And so I need you to ask yourself, what do I want to do for the world? What is it that I want to do to help inspire other people to live a better life? And if I really, 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 really want to inspire other people to live a better, happier, healthier, more fulfilling life, what am I doing today to make that happen? Now, you guys already know what to do. You guys already know the 4 vital behaviors, right? I hope you do. I know you do because I know Chelsea's told you, right? So you have to ask yourself every single day, do I want to make a difference or do I not? And if you want to make a difference, you have to earn the right. And the way you earn the right is by doing your vitals, is by being a product of the product. Because if you're not a product of the product, no way in the world is anyone going to trust you, right? You've got to be a product of them. You've got to show people that you do the thing that you sell. You've got to invite. Why does everyone hate inviting so much? Because it's uncomfortable to talk to strangers, isn't it? Or sometimes friends and family. That's sometimes even more uncomfortable, right? But if you have a difference you want to make in the world around you, you stop caring about what other people think of you. There's a lot of people out there that think Josh Coates is bad news, think that he's annoying, thinks that he takes too many selfies. Why the heck does he flex his muscles when he takes pictures? Why does he always have to say these crazy things about telling people whatever? I don't really care who I annoy. If I can inspire a handful of people to live a bigger and better life, I could care less who I annoy. If you want to unfollow me, you want to unfriend me, go ahead. I don't care. Because there's plenty of other people that need to hear what I have to say. And the only way they're going to hear it is if I say it. There are people all over North America and really around the world, but obviously at this point you can only sell to North America, that need what you have. I want you to think about this for a second. What was your life like before Beachbody? What was it like? And what is it like now? For most of you, from talking to enough people, I know that most of you were unhealthy, unhappy, lacking confidence, lacking purpose. That's just to name a few of the things, right? Now let me ask you this. Has Beachbody given you a new sense of health and happiness and confidence and purpose? If so, why in the world would you hold that back from an entire continent that is living right now as we speak, unhappy, unhealthy, with no confidence and no purpose? Again, if you're not motivated, I have to wonder how much you really care about people who are suffering today. And I have to wonder if you remember what it was like to be where they're at. See, motivation does not come from some external source. It doesn't come from feeling good. It comes from knowing what you want in life for your family and the difference you want to make in the world. So I have a homework assignment for everyone here. You guys like homework assignments? I do. I love giving homework assignments. Your homework assignment number 1 is to make a video to post in the team page and talk about what your why is. I want you to talk about why you need Beachbody to work for you and your family. Okay? And your second homework assignment is to write a simple mission statement that simply says the difference you want to make in the world. And says, and here's, I'll give you a few tips about a mission statement. A mission statement is usually some type of change that you've seen in your own life that you want to share with the world. Why do I want to equip and empower people to live out their legacy? Because for many, many years, I was searching and trying to discover the purpose in my own life. And now that I've found my purpose, and now that I feel I'm living my purpose, I want to help other people to do the same thing. So think, what are the things that I've discovered in my life that I want to share with the world, and put that into just one simple sentence. It doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't need 40 adjectives in it, okay? Don't overthink this. Just something very, very simple and direct, okay? And I want you to write that mission statement down. And I want you to post it somewhere in your office or somewhere wherever you would normally work your business. And I want you to remind yourself every single day when you go to do your work for your business that you're not doing it just for Success Club numbers or just for a rank advancement. You're doing it because there's people around the world that need you. And I truly believe, I honestly do, guys, that if you become devoted to your mission, numbers will begin to naturally happen like they've never happened before. If you lose the mission, I'm telling you, things get weird. You start pushing people. You start trying to get other people to do what you want them to do. And Zig Ziglar says you can have anything you want in life if you'll just help enough other people get what they want. My goal every single day is to wake up, find out what people want in their life, and then empower them to go do it. You need to do the same. Wake up every single day. Get on Facebook, get on Instagram, get on Snapchat or whatever the heck else you guys use. I know there's like a million social medias. I can't even keep up with all of them anymore. And ask yourself, how can I find out what these people need and then help them get it? Most of the time, that's going to result in selling a challenge pack or signing a coach, because most people that you're talking to really, really, really need health or some type of financial security, right? But you've got to take the time to find out what they need, and you've got to have the mentality of helping them get it, not pushing them in to doing it. Does that make sense? There really is a big difference. There really is. And that's the difference between sales and what sales should be. One of my business philosophies is that I always try to add more value than what I ask for in return. I always want to give more than what I ask for. And that's basically just a mentality of I want to help people. I have a mission to help people. And if you help people, I promise you, you're going to make plenty of money. Because when you help lots of people, people line up to work with you. People want to be in your challenge group. People want to work on your team because they know that you care about them. So anyways, I know I've gone for 7 hours now. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me till Friday morning. I know on the East Coast it's getting super late. I'm going to hand it back over to Chelsea and let her close it out. But thank you guys so much for spending your Wednesday night with me. Thank you for letting me speak into your life. Make sure you do your homework, okay? If you don't do your homework, we just had a good chat. We can have a good chat anytime, but that's not necessarily going to move your business forward, okay? Do your homework and make this happen. I believe that every single one of you have the potential to do this. You just have to believe that you have the potential to. And even if you don't believe you have the potential, be willing to fail finding out for the sake of your family. I said, even if I fail, even if somehow 5 years from now I realize that I really just suck at life and there's no hope for me, at least I can tell my family I tried. But I'd much rather live the rest of my life saying I tried than live the rest of my life saying, I wonder what would have happened if. So thank you guys again. Chelsea, I'm going to unmute you and let you have the stage.
Thank you so much. Can you guys hear me? Because I took my headphones off.
We can hear you. It's just kind of quiet, a little quiet. Maybe you can yell at us.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. Thank you so much for speaking, Josh.
Of course.
I know I speak for everyone because I have to right now. That if I was unmotivated before this call, even though there's no such thing as motivation, then I'm completely pumped up after talking to you. So I appreciate it. Thank you so much for giving us your time.
You're welcome.
And that's really all I have. I'm sorry, guys.
It's okay. Hey, everyone, make sure you come find me on Facebook.
Yes.
Make sure you find me on Instagram if you're on Instagram. And if you're interested, I do run training groups. They're 4-week training groups to basically help you get unstuck in your business. So I actually have one called 4 Weeks to Clarity and Focus. What I gave you tonight was actually basically one of the free nights from Focus and from Clarity and Focus. I should probably know what my training groups are called. But I also have another training group called The Art of Recruiting. That is one of my favorite. If you're someone who maybe has got the consistency game going, but you're like, dude, I can't recruit coaches for nothing. And as most of you know, that's the way you build income in this business, right? It's by finding people who want to join your team and join your vision. The Art of Recruiting is 4 weeks to help you get intentional about recruiting coaches. This is going on my 3rd month of doing it. I think there's like 8 spots left for next month. So you can learn more about my training groups if you just go to joshuacoates.com. There's no E in my last name, but it's joshuacoates.com. You can check out my training groups, and you can also download my free book. Okay?
I actually think there's at least 3 coaches on our team who just signed up for your recruiting training. Actually.
Beautiful. I can't wait to hang out with you guys.
Yeah, I actually shared, did a couple of videos for them based on the information that you had given us, and
way cool.
I teased them with it. So if you guys are struggling with recruiting, I mean, that's really where I've learned a lot recently. So thanks again, Josh.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Good night, everyone. And don't forget to come find me on Facebook and shoot me a friend request, okay?
Okay, thanks so much.
Night.
Bye.